Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. You've got to hand it to Raid. They have done it again. They've created a lot of FOMO around Clan v Clan, which honestly has always been for me a pretty dire system, but still they create new ways to hype up the need to burn resources, and it's happening right now. So what's going on? Clan v Clan top rewards being the relic medallions here, especially the sort of 3 and 4 kind of tiered prizes are insane. And I think we're going to see, especially at like the top end of the game, some crazy big battles. You know, we're up against Czech Republic, who have won similar amounts of kind of Clan v Clans to us. And it's kind of like, you know, everyone's all in trying to get points because they really want to create the kind of the relic FOMO, I guess. It's clever. It's very clever. Like Raid, I will say, I like the fact that Raid have updated, you know, this kind of like reward structure away from those gear sets, which are now a little bit more redundant for, you know, later game players. You know, when they first came out, the sort of blood shield accessories and the reaction accessories were absolutely top tier and almost essential for, you know, high level gameplay, whereas now they're less so. But yeah, interesting that they've kind of changed the pace a bit and have moved it into a strong place. There's also personal rewards kicking in, and my main account's probably, I am tier 6 now. I actually didn't think I was. So yeah, more sort of the medallions at the top end here. So I think this Clan v Clan is going to be absolutely like a fight for a lot of clans that are trying to push for high level items. I'm wondering actually, I mean, like I'd probably normally do something like 400k. I'm going to say it, like maybe a bit less than that, honestly. But already we've got people like just chunking up crazy levels of points. So yeah, let's just go through the relics quickly that you could get. This is a cool piece of work that Nubs did on the website here. Just kind of like going through the different clan relics and how strong they are. So I'll link this page down below if you want to come and read it. But ultimately, you've got the rare relics here. It's given it a rating of 6 out of 10 for this kind of like Black Shroud fan. So this one, take less damage per ally protection effect placed by the wearers. This is mainly like a clan boss earlier game type of tactic. This would have been good for my free-to-play account. We've then got the next one, the Flesh Render, where we're still kind of like unsure about the rating, but ultimately increases the next hit's damage by a percentage of surplus self-healing. It's very, very situational. You know, it's got here woad painted type of mechanics, which, you know, it's hard to rate really what that's going to be, but basically it's so niche that it's probably pretty weak. The epic ones here are really good tank relics. So Balkanin's Grasp, reflect damage absorbed by block damage or unkillable buffs back to the attacker, which could be quite interested in like clan boss strats or arena mechanics. So yeah, interesting one, but very niche down. You've got the Inferno Sphere, which is the epic one here. So increases wearer's resistance by percentage of HP lost. So again, for me, this is too niche. But when you get to the legendary ones, you really do start to get some strong relics. Perhaps not so much as temporal stagnative, though. 50% chance to steal, remove, or convert buffs, or to increase skill cooldowns when landing a weak hit. Very situational, but there is some edge cases for arena, which could be quite interesting here. This one I'm quite interested in. I didn't get the Cat's Gaze on my main because I was too busy on my free-to-play. So this one for me is pretty interesting. So we've got the Essence Quencher. So it's a damage-based relic. Bonus damage based on the enemy turn meter. So plus 20% damage versus full turn meter targets, which is significant, by the way, for both PvE and PvP, but mainly PvE, I would say. Scales up to 10% against bosses, still 10% more damage per hit. It's pretty consistent, or it is consistent damage. And yeah, it's rated here an 8 out of 10. Good, not quite as good as like the Cat's Gaze or Stormcaller, but this is a legendary. And yeah, if we were looking at, can I even show you what I don't know if I can show you what full legendary looks like. Maybe it's the equivalent of me having this here. So yeah, 39.5% to get a legendary if they're all legendary pieces going in. Whereas if I put in just if I went 2 pieces, you basically half the amount of chance of getting a legendary. So I'm kind of waiting on having full legendary pieces. Don't do it by mistake, Simon. Whereas this, you know, you've got like the 0.05% chance of a mythical, which we're going to go over in a second. Let's just see what that looks like. 0.5%. So still super low chance of getting a mythical, even if you max out these rewards. But a decent chance of getting a legendary, like a, I guess, yeah. Closing in on a 1 in 2, but not quite. Not quite. Let's just go through the mythical ones then. So those that are lucky enough to pick up the mythicals. Chrysalid of Rebirth. A Reviver Relic. 100% chance for an extra turn when reviving an ally. You think about those revive champions, you know, what's going on with them? Generally, they've got a bunch of support mechanics, whether it's healing, whether it's buffs, whether it's protection. So pretty mad to pick up a Chrysalid of Rebirth, honestly. So you get 24 base speed. So you get, basically it's the fastest relic in the game, which by itself is nuts, right? Think about that. We kind of come back towards a speed meta for any like endgame arena stuff. So yeah, Star Sage, Lady Noelle, loving stuff like this. Rated at 10 out of 10, S tier. Arguably the best relic in the game, which is why so many people are all in for this event. And then the other mythical one here is Murder Fang. So it's a damage-based one. 60% chance to deal bonus 3% max HP damage on single default attacks, or 1% on an AoE. So it's kind of like what Geo does with his reflect damage thing. So it's like a mini War Master proc. I say here acts like a War Master proc, but it's only on your A1s. It could be a crazy one for Alice, honestly. But anyway, best use against boss fights, ally attack comps, rated 7.5 out of 10 here. Strong against bosses for ally attack. Doesn't require gear to scale the damage. So it could literally be someone who is not a damage dealer that is doing the equivalent of damage. Now, you can put it on like a Mithrala, for example, going in with an, not Mithrala, sorry, a Mikage with, you know, ally attack ability. She would still be getting this kind of like mini War Master procs through her attacks. So definitely an interesting one, 7.5 out of 10. But yeah, this is going to be a big clan v clan, especially for the higher end clans, because they're all over trying to get these relics. Now that I've binned off the free to play and I'm back on my main account, I am now trying to get my head around what do I want to do for my relic crafting. And you can see I've got tons of resources, and I'm going to start to get on the relic grind and really trying to like build out my collection. You can see here we're going to start with a nice mythical. I'm sure it's going to be, okay, it's not mythical, but actually reduces the chance of applying debuffs, stealing or removing buffs, 10 meter, or increasing a skill's cooldown against the wearer by 10%. The nice thing here, honestly, is a lot of the stats. Some of the passives, when you start to consider the stats as well, is when it gets juicy. But there we go. Yeah, let me know what you're doing. I am going to be going hard for this clan v clan. I'm going to try and support my clan as much as I can. It's a good time for me to do things like, and there will be videos coming out on this real soon, book out my Carnage and get testing him. I'm behind the curve, but I'm really looking forward to actually playing around with a build on him for his A3 and getting some nukes away. I also just pulled and leveled up and booked out Lamusu. Yeah, so I'm thinking a Carnage Lamassu combo could be pretty mad. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to be playing around with these two, building them up, and I'll be doing some showcase stuff on that over the next couple of days. Let me know, are you in the camp of all in to try and get the relic stuff, or are you just kind of like, clan v clan, I just do what I normally do in the game and see if I get some points? There you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.